You know, fans of pro sports, they certainly know how to tune in their favorite team on the radio and on the TV. They know the key players and what's key to their team's success. But do they really know all the behind-the-scenes jobs that create the pageantry that is the NFL? Well, today I had the chance to talk with the Seattle Seahawks team photographer, telling me his story about what it's like shooting photography behind the scenes. Coming up next on Voice of the Box. Good morning, welcome to Voice of the Box. I have the pleasure of the Seattle Seahawks team photographer, Corky Truen, joining me this morning. First of all, Corky, thanks for taking a few minutes to talk to me here on Voice of the Box.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Anything you need.
You know, I just literally bumped into you a couple minutes ago and asked you to do this interview, and I got lucky because what I do at Voice of the Box is talk to people that have what I would consider behind-the-scene type jobs.
Sure.
Team photographer, Seattle Seahawks. Tell me, how long you've been doing this, and maybe a little bit about how you got your start.
Sure. I started in 1978. I was a free agent with the team. I did free photography to show them that I was going to be better than what they had. 1979 they hired me, so this is my 32nd season.
That's pretty impressive.
You bet.
You know, you've got such unparalleled access to pro football, obviously, in your team. How would you summarize to someone that isn't aware of what it's like to be down on the field during an NFL game? You're working, I know, but you're obviously, you've got the access. Tell me and explain, what's that like for you?
Yeah, the first thing you don't want to get hit. You don't want to be a highlight on television. So you're always taking pictures. You're always looking for the play that you've never seen before. So you're constantly on edge, offense, defense, special teams. We don't take a break. We shoot the entire 60 minutes, and then we turn around, shoot the fans, shoot the coaches, shoot people like you if you're down here. So we're always looking for the picture we've never seen before.
What would you say, out of 32 years doing this, something obviously gives you great pleasure to keep doing this?
Right.
And then on the flip side of that, I want to ask you, what are some of the challenges that would be inherent to your job? But first of all, tell me about the pleasure that you still get after 32 years doing this. I'm not saying you should stop.
Right.
But it's a long time doing what you've been doing, and that's great.
Yeah, well, I have no intention of stopping. The pleasure is making the picture that I haven't seen. The best picture I'm going to take, I try to make it the best picture that I'm about to shoot. And so you're always looking forward to that next scene. So I study the offense, study the defense. I work with the coaches from time to time. Players will tell me things. Hey, look for this. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm on edge. And that passion, it's like I'm being the safety on defense or the quarterback on offense. I have to know if they're in too deep zone, rolling into man-to-man on the right side, or if we're going to go audible-eyes from a run on the right side to a quick dump because they're going to blitz, a full blitz. So I'm looking for those things. So I get to be kind of an athlete without getting hit, and that's a hoot.
It feels better on Monday morning, doesn't it?
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Tell me, just on the flip side, let's not spend too much time, and I don't mean it to be a negative question,
sure.
But what would, you said some of the inherent challenges, of course, I think just being hit. Is there anything else, the travel involved? Is there any other things that start to, I don't want to say get under your skin, but maybe say, oh, I wish I wouldn't have to deal with such?
Right. Not as the team photographer for the Seahawks. Every day is a great opportunity. In the 80s, I was the team photographer for the Mariners, the Sonics, and the Seahawks all at the same time. That got to be a challenge because you worked every day. And now that I have the opportunity just to work for the Seahawks, it's a wonderful week by week. Every Sunday is an event, and those Sundays are spectacular.
You mentioned some really good stuff about, hey, you're an athlete, you're taking the shots, and you're looking for that shot that you haven't taken before. Let's turn it a little bit, because what I really like to focus on for the next couple of questions before we kind of wrap up and let you really back to work, is more the educational bent. I like to, give some words of wisdom about how you started, how you would pass some wisdom along to students that are looking to get into this. Obviously, the photography side and pro sports, you've melted those two together pretty nicely. What would you say would be some good steps for students that are looking to maybe break into photography, and more importantly, sports photography?
Sure. You got to have a good education in reading, because sports is reading the environment. The better your brain works, the better you can read what is about to happen. So the quicker you can make your brain work, the better it works. The more pictures you take a lot of pictures and then review them and edit them and see where you made mistakes. You are your best critic. You don't have to take a class to be a sports photographer, but you do have to study sports, whatever you're going to do. So if I'm going to shoot a volleyball match, I'm going to watch some volleyball. So it is a study. It's the art of shooting sports. And any art, you have to practice your art.
How did you get your start? Was there someone that gave you some pearl of wisdom or some, guidance that stuck with you over the years?
Sure.
And would you mind passing that along to someone else that might be watching?
You bet. Well, I got my start in 7th grade because I get kicked out of my English class because I asked too many questions. The journalism teacher got me into journalism. And then the photography teacher said, well, you're in journalism, start taking pictures. So I started at a young age in the 8th grade as a photographer. Then I worked for a newspaper in the 9th grade. And then I worked for another newspaper as a sophomore. So if you want to get into something, practice that internship in what you want to do. So if you want to be a sports photographer, go shoot junior football. Go shoot kids soccer. Go shoot Little League baseball. And you will learn how the ball moves and how people move. And then keep graduating up the level from there, and you will see that you get better and better with the more that you shoot.
Most exciting moment in your career?
Sure.
Would it be tough to say one, or maybe top three or four?
Well, every moment's exciting in football. There is no dull moment. But
anything that sticks out in your career?
Yeah. Well, the Steve Largent catch in 1979. Jim Zorn had told me during the week, the quarterback, if we get second and short inside the 30, we're going to go for the end zone. And it came second and short. And I ran in the end zone, got the picture of Steve Largent catching the ball over Lester Hayes for a touchdown. Because Zorn had told me during the week, because I was able to recognize second and short inside the 30, get my rear end down to the end zone in less than 30 seconds, and then be lucky because Largent was on my side. That is one of those moments that everything came together like a perfect storm. Going to the Super Bowl, hey, we want to win. So we didn't win at the Super Bowl. I want to go back. The Super Bowl is the best.
Well, best luck to you. Corky Truen, team photographer, Seattle Seahawks, 32 years. Keep it going.
You bet. My pleasure. Thank you very much.